Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity and to make a couple of remarks and looking forward to a dialogue in this field. Dear friends, it's not only in Europe that we are looking for opportunities. It is a phenomenon that everybody is sharing. Everybody, wherever located, is looking for opportunities. For we are aware that there are opportunities. And some are in a bigger hurry than others. Just give me a bit of time to just touch upon a couple of those issues. To enjoy economic growth and to build the bedrock of a stronger society, that is quite a familiar line to you. To offer decent public services on limited resources, talking about health, talking about education, but also talking about welfare for people. It is familiar for you too. And to ensure good governance and the rule of law. To improve the lives of those in poverty. Still a long way to go and quite a bit of work. To safeguard, by the way, also human rights. And it is still very actual. And we don't need to go that far wherever, and we are faced with that. And all those things you can do with information and communications technology. And David was rightly mentioned, we do have an opportunity. It is now the moment that we can deal with that. And with the incredible innovative platform of the internet, the sky is the limit. But you have to take an initiative. Broadband boost growth. We are aware of that. 10%, dear friends, more penetration means up to 1.5% more GDP. That's not coffee money. That is something that you can really take into account. It is not only in the developed world, it is in the whole world, also in the developing world. But deeper behind those abstract numbers. And, dear friends, you see the positive human reality. Better lives for more people. New ways to stay informed and to stay in touch, to communicate and to connect. Improving people's options and improving people's opportunities. New ways for people to get involved and get engaged in the issue that matter to them and to all of us. New ways for people to turn their bright idea into a workable business. And you were mentioning the farmers example. We do have a lot of those examples. It makes a complete other world for those people. New ways for people to turn bright ideas into a workable business. Isn't that fascinating? Better healthcare, better education, better government services, cutting bureaucracy, cutting cost, cutting corruption, and remember a computer can't take a bribe, and a new frontier of freedom. The internet is the natural home of open expression, a new tool, so to say, to organize against oppression and determine a democratic destiny, a voice for the powerless and a check on the powerful, a safeguard to human rights and human dignity. And that is the potential of the internet. And that is not about governments directing their citizens how to be. It is not about the richer countries directing the others how to develop. And it's not about favoring one sector, about subsidizing telcos or ICT companies. Rather, it is an amazing new tool to enable, energize, and empower everyone. So every farmer, you were touching upon that one, has the information they need for the best harvest and the best deal. Every scientific researcher can share and compare with colleagues around the globe. Every nurse and every teacher can boost their skills and make a bigger impact. Every citizen can take part and take advantage We never ever had that situation. And every business can find a new platform. Every innovative startup can use their inspiration. ICT can target particular sectors, from connecting schools to connecting scientists, and name it. But bring better broadband, and you give every citizen the tools to take control. Creating jobs, creating opportunities, creating growth. Often it starts with giving an internet connection to a local library or a clinic. But then you can switch on an entire community. Empower every person to get involved and to take control. Build the networks, and you don't always know what will happen. Offer the broadband, and the innovation will follow. Provide the right environment, and you foster incredible innovation. Energize entrepreneurs, generate jobs. And in Europe, we have seen digital development can be quite rapid and quite effective. In 1993, very nice example, that's not that long ago, 1993, we were all born and we were all, so to say, adults. Estonia was emerging from communism. GDP was just $1,100 per head, about the same as Papua New Guinea or the Republic of Congo. 20 years later, after joining the European Union and after a significant digital investment, and they did it themselves. They did get rid of communism, they did it themselves. Very courageable people, so to say. Estonia is among now the most connected countries in the world. Over 3 in 4 citizens are regular internet users. Virtually all businesses use e-government. The economy has grown 15-fold. The World Economic Forum puts Estonia at number 22 of the world's most networked countries, just behind Japan. It is absolutely impressive. And in the EU, I'm fighting for the frameworks and the networks so that not only the Estonians, and there are quite a couple of other countries now to be compared, but they are still leading, but we are working that every European can enjoy a better future. A continent connected. I'm always saying it is a connected continent that we are looking for and that we are working at. With a competitive telco market for a sector that's fit to compete. I'm a strong believer in competition. It keeps people awake, it gives you a better final result. And every customer benefits from a dynamic range and tailored choices with competition. From the biggest business to the most casual pay-as-you-go user. Bringing down borders so your mobile stays mobile, and with consistent rules on spectrum, but without rip-off roaming surcharges. Open, so no government or telco operator can decide what you can or can't see online. Really open, and with governments adapting to a new open era, making public data open, boosting transparency, and stimulating innovation. It is the openness of the internet that makes it such an astounding platform. A place to innovate without permission and without limit. With people able to create and express themselves without fear of repression and reprisal. Yet, blocking, censorship, and firewalls kill such creativity. If we are not willing to fight for that, then we are killing creativity. And openness is also, Mr. Chair, about free speech and fundamental rights. It is also a precondition for innovation and for growth. Another issue, and besides openness, secure, with the rules for a safe and trustworthy network, with protection for the citizens and with protection for the businesses against spying, against hacking, against cybercrime. with better capacity, better coordination, and better confidence in the digital world. And secure e-identification, so you can prove you are who you say you are. Not unimportant, and certainly not with a traveling global world. And inclusive, another quite important issue, and you were just mentioning upon that, Navid. It is about, indeed, inclusion, because everyone can benefit from those tools, and everyone should be involved, and it shouldn't be the split of the haves and the have-not. So it means, in my opinion, for Europe being responsible for that part in my portfolio, it means that every European, digital, rich and poor, urban and rural, men and women, it is every European digital, as all can benefit and none should be excluded. And ICT, by the way, can revolutionize education. In the most isolated and underdeveloped corners of the world, for boys and for girls, by the way. And you know, sometimes women feel ICT is not for them. And sometimes that is because they are told it's not for them. But digital skills, dear friends, and digital tools can be just as essential to women as to men. Rewarding, creative, and it's fun. It is fun to be able and capable to deal with it. So we are working, and I think it is a challenge for all of us, that really the reasoning is at stake, and not because you are told that it is not sexy, or that you are told it is not for your people, or that you are told. Don't give that chance, and let's go for it, that everyone is included in this process. Otherwise, we are facing later on a situation that we have to restore again. Why make mistakes when we have already the experience what the final consequences could be? So we are working to spread broadband everywhere, and to show, especially women, early on that they can take those opportunities. We have a network of digital champions, and that is an interesting phenomenon. A couple of years, together with the President of the European Commission, we took the initiative to ask every Prime Minister in the European Union to appoint a digital champion. And the digital champion, just to be certain that it's not from Brussels, that we are again saying, you should do this, you should do this. Close to the people, being aware of the culture, being aware of the circumstances. And most of the prime ministers, 26 out of the 28 member states, did appoint a digital champion. And it's remarkable what is getting. So it is a range of diversity. Ireland, for example, appointed David Putnam, a winner of Oscars and a very well-known, and he's doing a tremendous, great job. He is the best expert you can imagine talking about communication. He is a phenomenon for the younger generation. He is inspiring people. There are digital champions, for example, in Romania, a guy impressive who is taking the libraries that were nearby that as a center of just, and talking about the farmers, of giving again via the farmers information how they could get subsidy in Brussels, getting involved in the whole ICT and so on. And when the farmer came home to his farmhouse, the wife of the farmer said, but we want to be involved. And then you are getting, so it depends on the situation. It depends, and digital champions, by the way, is an excellent way of just dealing with that type of issues. So in every EU country now a digital champion. They are able and adapt to tailor and adapt their action for sustained political commitment and delivery on the ground. Why am I taking this example? I have a reason for that, for I have a question, and I'm highly interested in your answer. Why not having digital champions, not in every EU country only, but why not in every country in the world? Can you imagine that every country in the world has one person male or female, that is recognizable, that is giving a bit of inspiration for people. If he or she is taking that initiative, let's join. But I think if we could come with such a thought and just work it out, we could make a big step forward. For at the end of the day, it's talking about role models. It's talking about guiding the way. It's talking about, okay, I thought that would make sense. But now when X or Z is saying it, now we are go for it. So never forget what makes the internet so great. It is innovative. It is innovation. So also another way of just tackling problems. So we must be innovative too. And I try to do so. And I'm often mentioning, I have a granddaughter of 6 years old. She is a US citizen. She is living in San Francisco with the family. And we are Skyping. And that is, when there is such a distance, quite a nice way. So every Sunday afternoon with 9 hours time difference, we are Skyping. And at a certain moment, she was asking, Nene, what, by the way, is your age? And I said, I'm 72. And she said, you're still alive? And I said, and that was for me the best warning. I'm in a hurry, so we can't wait too long. And we have to give all those opportunities that we are aware of in ICT. We don't keep it for ourselves. We should just develop it to all the other parts of the world. And it's making so much sense, for it's making lives different. So we must be innovative, and the EU is working with the private sector to invest in a stronger future, particularly those sectors that underpin the digital economy, electronics, 5G connectivity, and we are just making, and some of you are aware, we are making a big effort in research and innovation, and sometimes people are asking, why, when it is crisis, making such a big amount available for research and innovation? I sincerely believe that you have to invest in research and innovation to have the solid building for the next steps in your economy and your society. So now we are having an investment of 80 billion euro in research and innovation for the coming years. And if you're asking me, is that enough? No, for it should be public-private partnership, but it is the highest amount of money that anyhow in Europe was ever made in a budget for research and innovation. Finally, we are working internationally to ensure the internet continues its success. What is the reason for the success? Not a bad question, so to say. It is a unified global platform. That is the base of the success of the internet. Shatter it and we shatter its benefits. We cannot have a situation where some countries end up going their own way for political reasons, for technical reasons, name it. We can't afford, or lack of capacity or understanding. Don't misunderstand that there is sometimes also misunderstanding. The internet started in the US, but now it covers the world. And governance needs to match that globalization. So great that it was a start over here, but also take into account that at a certain moment you have to realize that it is such a success that it is global. That is great. And every country now has an interest, and every country should be taking an interest. Not through new treaties, please, not enough text of that kind. Not through a takeover by government, but with a genuinely global system, with multiple stakeholders from multiple countries. That is making sense. That is a very reasonable and very pragmatic approach. And I sincerely want that Europe's voice and the values will be heard, of course. But many other countries are asking for the same, and rightly so, for an inclusive and credible global internet governance. And that is my dream, anyhow, for the digital Europe. A continent that is connected, that is open, and that is secure, that is inclusive, and that is innovative. A vibrant part of global network. And then we deliver the promise of the internet. That was and that will be at stake. And developing countries do have an advantage. Why? Well, it is already said. It is take the lead now. You were not in the leader's position. The other ones are now lacking behind, and you can take the leapfrog. You were mentioning it, the leapfrog, benefiting the whole of society, especially the most disadvantaged. It is your chance. In Africa, for example, a continent that hardly ever knew the landline now has more mobiles than in the European Union. That is remarkable, and that is great. It's not just about how many subscriptions you have, it's about the innovations. It is about the opportunities that they are bringing. And there, Africa is not just skipping a generation of technology, but even overtaking. Free of vested interest, legacy sectors, developing countries have a huge opportunity to leap ahead. Take it, starting from a clean slate, a chance to build digital in everywhere, right from the start. And you were mentioning an African country. I visited Nairobi, for example, a couple of years ago, in one of the largest, poorest slums in the world. I was invited to visit. Very, very intense, so to say. And even there, the nurses were learning online. Great opportunities, opening windows. Migrant workers are using the mobile banking. And you were mentioning, even in a place with few shops, mobile credit is the one thing on sale everywhere. We are helping this development. Europe is offering 8.4 million to help a harmonized and competitive ICT market, over 100 million to link up scientists with their counterparts in Europe, 4 million for the EHSA program for satellite-based healthcare, and political recognition is rising. So it's a two-way traffic, so to say. On both sides, we have to realize, we have to be aware that we badly need each other. Last week, EU-Africa Summit took that issue very seriously. All the leaders saw the power of the digital technology. And then I'm counting my blessings, for it always starts that people have to see it. But then you have to act. Then you have to implement. And that is the moment where we are now. Don't take for granted. Yes, very important, great, and we will join the party, but you have to implement and you have to follow up. So to harmonize and align rules between, for example, Africa and the EU, to interconnect our research networks, we should do it, for it is a waste if we are not, and to improve ICT capacity with better access for all, more inclusive governance, full recognition and respect for human rights, absolutely main. We are, dear friends, on the brink of a big change, technological, social and economic. People everywhere get it, in Europe, wherever in the world, and many of those national leaders get it. And now is the question, not only getting it, but implementing it and follow up. If we do, you and me, if we share and promote a vision, then we can deliver a digital dream. The digital dream on every connected continent. If you take home that line, we will deliver the dream. We can deliver the digital dream on every connected continent. Thank you.